Hola, ¿cómo estás? Mi amo es Andre Arrington, and welcome to a new episode of Music Monday on this wonderful, wonderful Monday. It is January 30th, I believe. That was my very, very poor attempt at the Spanish opening. I mean, hey, at least I'm trying. I mean, hey, it's the least I can do, right? Today is Music Monday, so we're going to keep going with the flow of how I started, where I'm going, and how I'm getting there. Shall we? Now, where I left off last week, I said that I moved back to Virginia to help my mother with some things, and I joined a new unknown band. Long story short, a new unknown band. Not after leaving Florida, leaving Live Sharks and Prevailing Appeal, which I didn't really touch on, but that band too. I joined this new band, which to this very day has been my best band I've ever been in. All I remember is that I came back around April, and I was asked to do a Battle of the Bands with Brandon, who I touched on last episode. We did some Live Shark stuff at his high school, Battlefield High School, and then he went off to college, so I was into that. But while in Virginia, I had, friends there, because that's where, I know most of the people in my life. Before Brandon actually left for good for college, we had this little project thing set up with my friend Taylor Stafford, who I met through Brandon, and he was going to play drums in some project, and Brandon was going to play bass, and I actually do vocals. And we had our friend Zach Duane, and I forget the other guy's name, which makes me really sad. I'm sorry if you do see this, I forget your name. Safe to say that project went absolutely nowhere, so we're not going to touch on that. But soon after, Taylor had joined another group as a keyboardist, synthesizer, effects player. And he asked if I was doing anything vocally in any band, and I was like, no, but I would like to. So next thing you know, I was asked out to a practice out in Haymarket, and I was like, sure, why not? So went out there and met two of my closest friends I've ever met, Jason and Francis, guitar and drums respectively, and we jammed out some Dead Voice product, and it was very, very fun. These pictures, by the way, are actually from the day that I met them in our very first jam session, so they're actually very special. Now, after that jam, we decided to actually pursue something. I had a good voice, and Jason was the vocalist before I came in. He stepped down to guitar, and Francis stayed at drums, and Taylor on keyboards, but we knew we needed a bass player. So guess who I called? Good old Brandon Dransfield, of course. He's the only bassist I knew at the time, and he was actually a really close friend, and he said sure, so he started coming down every weekend or every other weekend or so to practice, and it was really hectic for him, but I'm glad he made the sacrifice. And together we formed Feeling the Fallen, which a lot of people know of and liked, and we started playing around with some stuff, and Taylor had this one sound on his keyboard that we made a song out to, which, became When a Will Falls. Yeah, that sound, makes you want to move. Now, When a Will Falls was the first song we ever wrote. It's actually about my move from Virginia to Florida the first time I did it, having to meet new people, new friends, and, unknown intentions of anyone you come across. So anyone can relate to the song if they're moving from somewhere they're so familiar with to somewhere they have no idea what's going to happen. Second song we wrote was actually written by the band, musically of course, and the lyrics were written by Jason's girlfriend at the time, Kate. And that song gave me basically no room to breathe at all, ever. And that's where I learned my breathing exercises. I'm really good at it now. But anyway, over the course of about 2.5 months, maybe a month and a half, maybe I'm over-exaggerating the time, but it was over a month, we wrote out 6 songs, which became our first and only EP, the Battle EP, which to date was never finished, but that's not the point. Strung Along, I gave all of the titles of the album, of the EP, acts, A-C-T. And Strung Along, the actual names of the songs, formed a short story about a whale against a lumberjack. Yeah, we had fun. So over the course of time, we actually started playing shows around January of the following year. I want to say that year was 2009, maybe 2010. And we started playing shows as a quintet, and we did really well. We played, our first show was actually Battle of the Bands, which I believe we got second place for. And we played their high school, which again we got second place for because, that show was rigged from the start. Rigged, I tell you, rigged. There's no way we lost. There's no way we lost. We blew the power in the auditorium 3 times. 3 times. We were awesome. But anyway, now that weight is off my shoulders, we started playing more and more, and we realized we had a gap in our sound. So that means we needed a new member. And that new member became Todd Myers, a new guitar player and singer, and I actually was the one that found him. And we started talking over MySpace, because MySpace was still operating back then. And he and I actually hit it off because we had the same views about a lot of things, music-wise and business-wise. So he joined Film Fawn, and we became a sextet. Yay! We started playing shows again, including one where, Todd broke his guitar strap on the first song, which was pretty funny. He had a lot of mishaps when he played live, but they were really fun, and they were worth it because it made a great story of how we became friends, and eventually led to how we fell apart. I forget what happened exactly, but I believe I went back to Florida for a while. Actually for a week, I think. And came back, and we changed our name to Victory Sleeper. And we started realizing that Todd was a really, really good songwriter, and he started writing our songs. And there's 2 songs he premiered when he joined the band, blew all 6 of the songs that took us a month and a half to write out of the water. No doubt. And those 2 songs became Even the Strongest Stones Can Crumble, which you can hear here, and False Martyrs here. Written about my wife and a local Nova musician, respectively. At one point, we actually played the I Saw a Ghost EP release show for That Makes 2 of Us, and we had a really, really, really good response there, and it was fun. It was probably my favorite show we ever played together, but it was also the day that I started to realize that I wasn't exactly going through the right place in my life, and I was taking things way too seriously. But shortly after, we started to fall apart. Taylor, Francis, and Jason graduated from Battlefield High School. Jason realized it wasn't what he wanted to do. He wanted to pursue college, so he quit, which to my heart, it hurt, because he was like my best friend in the band. Of all 6 of us, he was the person I was closest to. But I can't make decisions for him. So he left and joined Liberty College, and I respect him for it because he wanted to further his education. So hey, that's what happened. We went on to play 1 show after he left without him, and this was actually our last practice with him. But we went on to play 1 show at Jack's, and we didn't play any of our old songs from the battle, and we played 4 new songs, and it was a very short set. We headlined. It was pretty cool, but started to go really downhill from there. Around this time, we started working at Books A Million, and it got really heavy scheduling-wise. We started practicing at Brandon's house. We didn't have the equipment that we had at Jason's garage, but we made do. But something happened behind the scenes in my life that it hit me hard, and I kind of shut myself away from the rest of the world, and it came down to the point that it wasn't the band at the time wasn't good for me, and it was viewed by my eyes and Todd's eyes and Brandon's eyes and Francis' eyes. So that was a dirty break. But I'm not really going into details, because if you know him already, you already know him. But I exited from Victory Sleeper and went on to do God knows what. I think just dove into work a lot more seriously and realized that I needed to focus on work, and music can wait. For a while, I really wasn't involved in anything, and it sucked because I'm really big on music outlets, and I really wanted to do something so I can get what I have on my mind off of it, because it sucks when it's just sitting there, But that calls it for this Music Monday. I believe we have 1 more on Music Monday that concludes everything I've been doing up till recently. Like I said in the question and answer video on Saturday, I'm actually going to start doing a new Music Monday, maybe at the end of next week's video or the week following it, where I start interviewing local bands that I know and love and want to help get exposure while also helping this YouTube channel get to a new audience. So I'm going to submit some questions to a couple of local bands that I know, and hopefully they'll shoot some stuff for me, and I'll edit it down, and it's going to be awesome. The ideas I have for it, it's going to be really, really cool. But anyway, be sure to check out Saturday's video of the questions and answers, and Friday's Follow Friday. It was a very interesting Follow Friday. I thought it was funny. And don't forget to like this video, to comment this video, and subscribe to this video right there. And tell me what you guys like about these videos, and if you like them or you think it's boring. But anyway, remember, Love sometimes, laugh often, you'll live forever. Love you guys. See you later. Bye.